Welcome to this channel. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to tell you my story the way I remember it, exactly how I remember it. Everything that happened from point A to point B. I'm a little nervous, but I plead with you to bear with me. For the purposes of safety, I'm not going to reveal my real identity or where I actually come from, but I'm going to try to keep the locations of these events as real as possible. Unless if they reveal my current location, then I'll omit a few details, but for as long as they don't, the ones far back anyways, I'm going to just say them as they are. So I'm also going to omit the real identities of the people I'm going to be mentioning in this series, and this is your warning. If you have some trauma that you haven't healed from, or if you are sensitive, then please do click off this video before it goes deep, because we are going to go deep. We're going to take a head dive. I would also like to mention that I have never received any form of therapy. I would love to, but I haven't. I don't even know if any type of therapy could help me with the problems that I have had to deal with or my trauma. But I'm just going to share my story. Hopefully someday I can print it out in a book, have the confidence to do that. But for now, I'm just going to record it in a series of episodes. And I advise you to watch, or listen rather, from episode 1 so that you can get the full story of what really happened, how it happened. So let's take a walk together. Dear Diary. Hello again. From the break. So yeah, let's continue. My older sister, the one I was with from when all this began, the one I follow, she had finished primary school, and it was time for her to go to high school. So that meant that I would be remaining alone in the school. So I'm gonna just go with the memories as they come. I'm going to be a little unorganized, but please bear with me because it's not easy to say this whole thing all over again. Anyway, so my sister had to go to high school, so that meant me remaining alone. I was there alone for about 2 months, and it was horrible. Everybody else had left. Everybody else from the boarding school they tried to build, everybody had gone. Their parents took them. I was riddled with sores. I had these pus-filled sores that were huge bumps on my skin, with pus, just pus-filled bumps on my skin, on top of my skin. You couldn't rub your hands on my legs because you'd be rubbing on bumpy, lumpy skin with sores just filled with pus, and they would pop from time to time, and as they popped from time to time they would scar, and then the pus would rebuild again. So yeah, it was that season. Every year without fail, every single year without fail, I would have these sores every time during rainy season, and rainy season would last for like 4 months. So every year, out of 12 months a year, I'd have sores for 4 months every year. Fresh ones and old ones rebuilt, if that's the word. So once again, yeah, I was riddled with sores. I remember my sister left when I was in grade 6, when I started my grade 6. So I spent a year and 2 months alone in that place, basically. And I'm sorry for the mishap that I kind of forgot. My sister was 2 grades ahead of me. I remember that. Yeah, she was two grades ahead of me. So yeah, I was grade 6. So the whole of grade 6, I remember when I had the sores again, my parents took me out of the school and sent me to my cousin / uncle's place in my home country, so that I could always cross the border to go to school, and they would take care of me and help me heal. I remember that's how severe it got when I was in grade 6. It was really bad. I would stink. I was always stinking. I didn't even know. I took months without bathing because it was painful to just splash water on me. So I remember the season when I had sores again. My parents took me to this uncle's place of mine, and my uncle had a friend, a female friend. That female friend is the one that usually took care of me, because my uncle was, at the time, he was just a drunk. He was just a drunk living his life. So the female friend pitied me. She had kids my age, and I would sleep at her place. That lady was a godsend. I would sleep at her place nights in a row while my uncle would be drunk with having his friends over, loud house music booming. She would take me in. She would feed me like one of her own, and she would clothe me like one of her own, and she would bath me too. She used to bath me like one of her own, but this with me she was more gentle. She would pop them for me and heal me, take care of me to regain my strength and come back to who I was. This is very hard to say and remember, but I know that it happened. This lasted for like 2 terms, I think. Well, yeah, 2 terms. Stayed with them for like 2 terms. Or was it a term, 1 term? I think it was 1 term. Honestly, it was 2 terms. The first term was in January, and then the one in the middle, the winter term, I went back there, but then they came back again, those sores, and then I had to go back to stay with her again, and my uncle on the 3rd term. So yeah, it was 2 terms. I don't remember her children's names, but I remember it was a boy and a girl. I remember it was a boy and a girl, and those were my friends. They played with me even when I stank. They didn't ridicule me. They didn't bully me. They took me like a sibling. I remember some nights I would pass out in the living room. Her kids would also pass out in the living room, and she would carry them and carry me too. Some nights I would wake up whilst she was carrying me, taking me to the room, and I remember thinking how nice it was to be carried to go and sleep. I never had that. I only had that once in a blue moon in the past years, where I would be at home for holidays. So I really, I don't know where she is now. I would actually love to get in touch with her because, wow, she was an angel. She was an angel. She rehabilitated me, basically. She gave me a little bit of home. Over the years, I had my some of my older sisters come. We had, when my sister was still there, we had some of my older sisters come and take care of us. But then eventually they would always have to go back to continue with their lives too, because they were kids too, but a little older. You know, they would have to go back, either go back to their jobs or go back to their universities. So my parents tried where they could. They really did. They really did. Whenever they felt a situation was terrible, or when they just had a feeling, they would send someone to come and stay with us for a while and see how the situation is. We barely had communication with home. So when I was living with this uncle of mine slash this cousin and this lady, I felt so much relief in my heart, in my life. I never imagined I would feel so much relief. But at the same time, I always had this feeling of numbness. I would feel so numb. I didn't enjoy life as much as I did before when I was a toddler. It was hard. It was hard to cope. It was really hard.